The Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce and Associated Industries of Arkansas. The State Chamber AIA is the leading voice for business at the state capitol and serves as the primary business advocate on all issues affecting Arkansas employers. Our mission is to promote a pro-business, free enterprise agenda and prevent anti-business legislation, regulations, and rules. Now more than ever, business matters. Learn more at arkansasstatechamber.com.
And welcome to Talk Business. We are joined now by our content partner, Michael Tilley, with the City Wire from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Michael, it is always good to have you with us. Let's start with some of the big news of the week. Let's begin with Walmart's earnings, which came out on Thursday. Revenues up, profits over $4 billion, yet there were some ominous signs and warnings in what Walmart had to say about their latest quarter.
Right. The market watches Walmart. They reflect about 20% of retail sales in the country, and Walmart missed their estimates, and not by much. They had a $1.24 share. Market was expecting $1.25. It's not a big miss. Walmart also missed on the revenue, but it's what Walmart said. They talked about the cautious consumer. It's still a challenging retail environment, and the market was down. The broad indices were down the morning that the earnings came out. Walmart's shares were down about 3%. At the opening bell, so it reflects a consumer who is pulling back, and it's not just that the consumer at Walmart. It's not just the customer at Walmart. We saw Macy's down, although Dillard's income was up, their sales were down. Target, American Eagle, a lot of these retailers are reporting a consumer who's pulling back, especially on the non-essential spending.
And obviously that was something that Walmart showed in their domestic numbers, their U.S. numbers, but they also showed a tremendous slowdown in their international segment. That division has been up by double digits for many years, but we have seen it really kind of shrink its margins in the last couple of years.
Well, and what you're seeing is a lot of maturity that we saw in the U.S. market, where there's the double-digit growth pared down. We may be seeing that some in their international sales, but as they get India geared up, as they get South Africa geared up, I think some of that will stabilize. It's also possibly a function of we're seeing some smaller GDP, slower sales in some of the overseas markets. And the other interesting thing about Walmart is they lowered their earnings guidance for the back half of their fiscal year, which it doesn't. Again, when 20% of retail sales are accounted for at Walmart, for them to lower their guidance, for them to suggest the consumer is going to continue to pull back, that's not the good sign you want for the U.S. economy.
Absolutely. Let's stay on Walmart. You reported this past week, too, about an onshoring effort that Walmart has announced previously a few months ago, but big conference coming next week in Orlando, Florida, I believe. They're trying to network with American vendors and find a way to bring more American manufacturing back from where they're already producing some stuff overseas. What's the gist of this effort?
Well, the gist is just what you said. Walmart is trying to gather governors, economic development officials from around the country to meet with some of their vendors, or with some of these people who produce their goods that are being produced all or partially overseas, and trying to connect them to see what opportunities there are to maybe produce that back in the U.S. I mean, U.S. manufacturing jobs have declined from a peak of over 19 million, and they're down below 12 million. And Arkansas has really been hit by manufacturing job losses. So we have Governor Mike Beebe plans to attend the conference August 22nd and 23rd in Orlando. Grant Tennille, who's head of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission, will be there. People from Northwest Arkansas, the Fort Smith region. There's going to be a lot of folks there, and a lot of corporate leaders from around the country. Jeffrey Immelt with General Electric will be there. So it's the start. It's not the end game. Walmart said this is the beginning of their onshoring efforts. They want to bring $50 billion in manufacturing or in onshoring back to the U.S. in the next 10 years, and they think if other retailers will get involved, it could be a $500 billion boost to the manufacturing sector.
And to kind of underscore just some things that not only American manufacturing but Arkansas manufacturing has been undergoing, you and I have both kind of traded some stories on this past couple of weeks. We've seen large declines in Arkansas manufacturing as well as American manufacturing, rebound in some other states but not necessarily in Arkansas. What's at work here? Is this just all productivity gains or is there something else?
Well, you know, it depends on who you talk to. You know, there's some folks who say that Arkansas's business climate in terms of tax policy and other things aren't as competitive with, especially Tennessee and Texas, who have seen huge gains in manufacturing in the last 3 years. You know, of Arkansas's neighboring states, it's only Arkansas and Mississippi who have seen manufacturing job losses since 2010. The rest of the states have seen manufacturing job increases. Texas has had close to 60,000 manufacturing jobs return in those 3 years. But it's tax policy. We're hearing workforce. You know, Grant Tenney has talked about the workforce, not only it being here, but the training environment to provide ongoing training is an issue. So I think there are a number of factors in play as to what's affecting Arkansas: workforce, incentives, tax policy, and that kind of thing. And hopefully we'll, at some point in Little Rock, we can push aside some of these politics and the adults can have conversations about how to improve that environment for recruiting and retaining manufacturing in Arkansas.
Oh, it's so much more fun to be immature and talk like a kid, but good advice there. He's Michael Tilley with the City Wire. It's always good to have him with us. You can keep up with his daily reporting at thecitywire.com. You can also see it on our website at talkbusiness.net. Now, when we come back from this word from our sponsors, it's raining politics, the Arkansas Senate race, the governor's race, Congress, and much more. Our political roundtable of Talk Business bloggers Jason Talbert and Michael Cook will be joined by Skip Rutherford, Dean of the Clinton Public School. I'm Roby Brock. This is Talk Business. We're back after this.